Next is Waikura Linwood-Central-Heathcote Community Board report to Council. And Jake, Sally's an apology, Darren and Shapaya. Welcome.
Morena, thank you. So I'm happy, of course, to take the report as read with a couple of highlights. Firstly is the granting of a licence of a part of Ragley Park to the Roimata Commons Trust. Sorry for the person operating the PowerPoint, it's going to be a bit sporadic. Of note, of course, is also the opening of the incredible new Woolston Library. So that was a real highlight of the board's program this month.
Oh,
some pictures
nice
there.
photo.
There's Yanni. And also the excitement over the Linwood Woolston pool continues to grow, and staff have done a great job of outreach by coordinating a group of 8 local school children to visit swimming facilities locally and in Selwyn and Timaru and Rangiora, so they can be better informed and so we can draw on their more informed and firm preferences. I want to also note the board approved a payment of over $30,000 to facilitate the rebuilding of steps along Beachville Road in Redcliffs. These were damaged during the earthquake and have since been longed for, and the community have longed for their return ever since, and we're pleased to be able to make it happen. However, it was noted that the DRF isn't the appropriate funding channel for capital projects of this nature. However, we wanted to capitalise on the sharp price offered by the contractor completing nearby works. And of course, we had no desire to see the ratepayer pick up the extra cost of completing the work separately, or even as part of another project that would result in a large amount of staff time to coordinate. The other thing is, although not part of this report, I'd like to mention a resolution of the board's Monday meeting to write to members of Parliament, Porter Williams and Ruth Dyson, asking them to progress an update to the Council's district plan under Section 71 of the Regen Act, Residential Overlay Clause 5.2.2a, and would encourage Council to take swift action in the same vein. So that's that. Oh, and also, finally, I'd like to take a second to acknowledge the immense hard work of Shapaya, our governance manager. This will almost certainly be her last meeting, and Shapaya has been a wealth of knowledge to me, and I'm sure the rest of the board, and I wish her well for her future in Wellington, to live as what she described yesterday as a kept woman.
Thank you.
No worries.
So I've been taken by surprise. I didn't realise this was your last meeting. We're losing you to, what, Wellington,
Wellington,
is it?
I know.
Jared moved to Wellington, so since we got married, I thought I should probably live with my husband.
Do you think you have to? Oh, well, look, congratulations, and and thank you for everything that you've done. I know that you've been a tremendous source of guidance and support for the community board, but actually the relationship with the rest of the council as well, and the community. I get constant feedback about you, and the connections you've made are going to be long held, so you'll always be welcome home.
Thank you, Leanne.
Don't make Wellington your home. And since you stopped on this picture here, just thought how extraordinary that the Governor General came and opened the Linwood North School Hall. I just thought it was a fantastic story, and she told a story during the opening ceremony, and where she talked about how she'd been born to a couple of rural teachers, and she said that when she was born, she actually was at the back of the classroom in a little bassinet, and that the children of the school helped to raise her, and she had this wonderful connection with the children. I don't think they'll ever forget that opening and what she said. It was stunning. So yeah, really special. David.
Thank you. Look, I'd just like to speak a wee bit about your Beachville Road project and commend the board for the work that they have done to actually get this project underway. My only reservation is that you've had to resort to your own DRF fund to get these works done, and it's obviously a sizable chunk of money out of your DRF, which I feel is rather disappointing for that community board going forward, that they've had to expend this amount of money to get this quite valuable project underway. So I would like to suggest that to the Chief Executive that some mechanism is looked at to restore the community board's discretionary response fund, because I believe, you know, these sort of projects are something that have benefit for the whole of the city, and it seems unusual that you've had to take the step of using DRF monies to do that.
I'm not sure whether there's a, I mean, as far as I'm aware, if it's a discretionary response fund.
I could add some clarity if you like. Sorry, the board did actually put it forward as a bid in the LTP or annual plan the year before, and it didn't go through, and which is the reason it came to DRF. So it's been through a council process already to seek funding, but wasn't successful.
And we're always asked to prioritise these things, and you know, priorities are sometimes such that it won't make a priority around the table across the city when we're all thinking with our city hats on, rather than our individual community boards. But a community board does have a discretionary response fund for the purpose of adding priority to something that wouldn't make the cut otherwise. So, David, did you want to?
Oh, look, I totally appreciate all of that, but yeah, I'm just disappointed that council process didn't allow funding for this project, and they've had to pay for it out of DRF, and community boards have huge calls on their DRF fund, and so I'm probably just expressing my disappointment that that sort of process had to occur in this instance, but I do applaud the board for what they've done.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. We agreed as a board, and it was originally going to be funded out of the skirt works when the skirt did the repairs down that area, but because it wasn't safe to put it back exactly where it was and it needed to be moved slightly, it became out of scope, and so was never done. So,
Phil,
can I just make a quick comment that clearly at the time of the annual plan we'll have a chance to rectify and look at those sort of issues and vote accordingly.
thank you. All right. Sarah, would you like to move that the report be received and seconded by Yanni? Sorry?
I just also quickly wanted to speak to it.
Oh, for sure.
Just wanted to really sorry, I just wanted to acknowledge the project manager for the Woolston Community Library, Selena Robertson. Just wanted to say that there was huge praise on her for what was a really great project, basically. Really worked with the local community and the volunteer library committee members. The library had been going since 1871. It's one of the oldest libraries in Christchurch, and although it's now a community library, a volunteer library, it's got a huge history of that goes along with it. And I just really wanted to acknowledge the great work that she did, bringing that project together, along with City Care, who actually built it. City Care have built two of our volunteer libraries, Redcliffe's and Woolston. They've done an amazing job, so I think we should be really proud of the work that they've done. And also, and I think possibly for another time, but there are a number of local people who helped, particularly with some of the furnishings. So there was David Woodings, who donated one of his prints out of Order Number 3, which is a shot of the old building. There was Murray Green, who actually had a photo taken in 1952 of people marching down Ferry Road on Anzac Day, and he's allowed us to use it. It's framed with salvaged timber from the old building. And there was also other things that were given and donated. So it was just a really great facility that's open. There was a huge community response to it being opened, and although people are sad to see the old heritage building not be there anymore. It was really touching to have part of the brick from the old building that was presented, which is what you saw in the photo. So just want to acknowledge the great work that happened on there. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried. Thank you very much.
Thank you.